What is good, guys? Today we are going to be talking about the prettiest and the most hottest man in the world ever, and that is going to be Chris Hemsworth. So guys, today I am going to be taking you guys through his physique look, how he actually achieved that physique, and I'm also going to give you my opinions on what you can do. I'm going to show you what he did, and I'm going to be taking you through my exercises as well and my dissection on what he actually did. Now, you guys might be wondering why I'm sitting like this. So what the fuck, do you need a reason behind everything you do in life? And how's that working out for you, huh? So guys, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to also be dissecting his diet and everything else along with it, his recovery. And without any further ado, let's get to the dope ass intro.
So kids, there once lived a moron named Ozymandias. He was highly insecure about his small muscles and the loads that he could not carry. So one day he decided to act even more delusional and turn into a god of thunder, which is what you are exactly witnessing right now.
Oh, hi guys. So now that we are here at the gym, I am going to be dissecting and giving my analysis, and I am also going to be taking you guys through our good old Chrissy Boy's workout. So guys, Chrissy Boy is the kind of guy who actually already goes on a date without even asking anyone else out. He's that hot. So we are going to be figuring out how to be that hot. So guys, first things first, I'm going to be giving you my analysis, and I'm also going to be taking you through our good old Chrissy Boy's workout as well. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So guys, now let's get to how we actually build that Hollywood physique, that superhero physique. First things first is we need to focus on our primary modalities. That is going to be your upper chest, your shoulder, building those huge lateral delts, building that V-tapered back, and legs. That is very PG-13. That is not something that is usually focused on, because legs, just like our other tiny body parts, are usually neglected because we are not that insecure about our legs. But on the screen, the biggest thing that is usually portrayed is our upper body, and the things that can be covered do not always need to be shown that they are big. So guys, with that being said, now let's get to barbell curls. That is one of the most primarily focused. Now guys, if you are a pussy boy like me who has the smallest of muscles and who has literally non-existent muscles, you do not usually show any of it in the beginning. So what we are doing here is we are hiding it through the pump cover. So guys, once again, we need to focus on the primary muscles. That is why we are going to be focusing on squeezing our biceps as hard as possible. So guys, now that the cover is off is because I have a bit of a pump, but I still look like a little bitch, but it is what it is. So just like our huge loads of insecurity about our teeny tiny ass body parts, even Hollywood condones that. So what Hollywood implements is to have that massive upper body. How do you get that illusion? You pin it in the ass, bitch. That is what Hollywood does as well. You pin it in the ass. And what I mean by that, guys, is using or implementing of steroids that no one ever talks about, but is a huge topic in the Hollywood or even in the Bollywood. Wherever you are seeing the over-the-top physiques, the out-of-the-world physiques, it is usually the causation behind steroids. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of work required with that as well, but steroids is in the play. Now, without further ado, let's get on to chesticles. like us, we like boobs. Hollywood also likes it, but they usually prefer upper boobs. So guys, what happens in this scenario is when you are prioritizing your upper chest on the screen, it looks very dominant. Just like having bigger shoulders, having huge front delts. Not that I can talk about it a lot because I have the bitchy ass delts. But yeah guys, so having bigger delts, in general having that bigger upper chest, that plate of armor kind of look, that is what is promoted usually when you are promoting a superhero kind of look. So guys, that is usually focused on a lot. Now guys, I'm not going to talk for the rest of my workout. So guys, I'm just going to be taking you guys through the workout and you can follow it along with me as well. So guys, now that we are done with the gym, I'm going to lead you towards my home and I'm going to lead you towards good things as well. Now I don't mean good things other than anything else than you think it is. But yeah guys, so it's going to be, usually I'm just going to be taking you guys through my diet. It's going to be that simple. Now let's get to home and we'll see you then. Bye. Now guys, when it comes to the Thor, his ability to drop the hammer is usually pretty good. But when it comes to food, he does not conflate it that very well. Ask Elsa Pataki. So guys, usually whenever it comes to food, he was a huge fan of white meats. Ask Elsa Pataki. Now guys, the thing with white meats is like usually they get digested pretty quickly, and usually when you need to eat loads of food, which Chris was usually doing while he was trying to bulk up in this process, his usually meat of choice was white chicken, fish and and other different things with it. So guys, now my hypothesis on that is obviously because he's preparing for a role, and once we talk about steroids and everything else, the food plays a massive role in what your look is going to turn out into. So what we have here is, guys, we have some chicken, we have some veggies with it, because Chris is usually a huge fan of veggies, and he's usually the typical chicken, broccoli and rice kind of guy, because that is what his trainer suggested him to do. But what we have here is like 300 grams of rice and 200 grams of chicken. Usually that was his go-to in all the scenarios. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to get to eating it. So guys, when it comes to chicken or anything, once again, because it's my kind of video, I'm also going to be dissecting my ways. So guys, that is what I'm doing here. Now once again, it's not always about suffering. The more you suffer. Now in his case, I'm usually guessing it was pretty bland white chicken, that's it, with some salt and something like that. But once again, in our real lives, we don't need to actually go ahead and do that to achieve the superhero physique look. But once again, when the time is very constrained and he has to look a certain way in a very short form of time, he has to sacrifice certain things in order to get shit done fast. So without further ado, now let's get on to the next point. So guys, now whenever it comes to recovery and shit, I hardly know. The goal behind it is to optimize recovery as much as possible. That means because the upper body is primarily getting worked a lot throughout the week. Usually it's in the bro split, but when it's trained, it's actually really hard and intense training. So now the diet part is actually covered. He usually eats the same meals 5 to 6 times a day, depending on how many calories he's consuming. Usually he's consuming upwards of 4700 or 4800 calories to get into the shape, to get into the bulk shape for this role. But when it comes to recovering your body, you need to stretch out your body as much as possible. And the other thing he usually does is pin it right here. But guys, once again, keep that in mind, every other factor is as important as this, but without this, all of this won't be possible. So guys, you need to keep that in mind. So whenever you are trying to have any physique expectations, have as realistic as expectations with it as possible. You are not going to look like the fucking god all of a sudden. So you also need to keep that in mind whenever you are trying to keep your physique goals a certain way. So guys, without further ado, if you guys actually enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to comment Chrissy Boy. And without further ado guys, I'm going to be ending it right here. Until next time, see ya.